Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's finally time for our first over a month update, pretty much around the month update on the portfolio that was $10,000, a little more than $10,000 when we started these videos, these portfolio unveils. So last 2 weeks ago, I did an update and it was 110,000. I told you guys 10% in 2 weeks. It's probably not going to maintain that. If it did, we'd be at more than we're at now. But still, after a month, we're at 116,940. So we pretty much made another 6,000 on top of the last video that was published 2 weeks ago. And the really impressive part to me is 16,000 or 16% up in a month, right? You're looking at, if you're timesing 16 by 12, you're looking at about approaching 200% increase per year. Again, not saying this is always going to happen, but I am saying this is what Pokemon investments are capable of. I'm not an expert investor. I've been investing a little over a year, and this is what I was able to do from just this much experience, create a portfolio. Some are literally, as I'll show you, cards I drew in this portfolio, but obviously there's a lot of purposeful investments as well. And yeah, even if some stuff is down, overall we're up 16% in a month, which translates to $16,000. I have property in some places in the world where you could literally live for a year off of that, if not longer. So definitely cool to see what real gains you can make through Pokemon. And for those of you who want to see some actual products and not just me talking about numbers, the first ever portfolio unveil, I did do some showing around of the products. So if you want to actually see the products, you can go there. All right, so like before, we're going to do sort it from price low to high for the update and just go through. Like I said, some stuff here is just I drew and I added in because it was at least, a certain amount of money. And we're going to go through that. We're not going to talk specifics about this stuff that's, worth a few dollars because I didn't purposely invest in it. I just happened to draw it and I added it in the collection because who knows, some of this stuff may actually go up. Larvitar, that is a kind of cool card from Obsidian Flames. I did draw it, but you never know what it could be capable of with a lot of Tyranitar hype. So we have more going on. A lot of illustration rares I think will do well in the future. But like I said, it's always better to have a popular Pokemon illustration rare than a random Pokemon illustration rare, even if it's a good art, right? You want to combine good art illustration rare with a popular Pokemon. Like, for example, Melton. I don't I don't know how popular this will be in the future because it's not the most popular Pokemon at the end of the day. Lechonk, this is a cute card, a sleeping pig Pokemon, very cute, great art. But again, Lechonk, I don't think it's ever going to be a chase card. Toadscool, now we start getting into some stuff that is kind of related to 151, which are pretty much all popular Pokemon. They're more popular than others. But Toadscool is related to Tentacool. So yeah, you can see some kind of connection there starting to form as we go approach the $5 mark in Canadian. By the way, guys, this portfolio is Canadian. I'm in Canada. I bought in Canadian, so you could translate yourself if you want how much it's in USD. And as well, keep in mind, I'm using the Collector app. I'm not sponsored by them, so I don't even know if I should shout it out, but some of you guys talk about it. So I'm just letting you know, collectorapp.com. It uses recent sales, so it's going to be sometimes different than TCG Player because I think it's mostly relying on eBay, but just so you have a heads up. Even these shinies from Paladin Fates, I've been long talking about how amazing Paladin Fates is, and I'm heavy into the position as well, as we'll see as we go through his portfolio unveil. But even Tinkatink, which means nothing to me. Like, this Pokemon means nothing to me. I have no connection with it whatsoever. But even this card is approaching $5. So even cards that I wouldn't even think are doing well are doing relatively well if you look at the price. Snorlax non-stamped promo is already over $5 Canadian. Latias, this was not a $5 card before, for sure. It was only a few dollars, so Crown Zenith is doing good. That's good to see. Enhanced Hammer, again, I drew. I expect that this is popular in the game or useful in the game. I don't think this will maintain any value long term, but just putting that out there. Snorlax, these trainer galleries of popular Pokemon. I think it's a good play long term for sure. Already over $5. Enamorus, I don't know why this is over $5. I drew it, but I'm happy it is. And then we have even cards where I wonder how much hype you can create by having a popular Pokemon in a non-popular Pokemon card. And what I mean is Tarantula, right? So you have Scyther in there. And Scyther is obviously 151 popular Pokemon. So it'll be interesting to see. It's already over $5 long term if that helps it. Like I know, or significantly helps it. There's that other card, Regidrago, in Silver Tempest that has a Lugia in the background. That's probably helping it. The just question is to see how long it'll help it in the long run. But guys, honestly, even I'm shocked by some of these prices. Like Orbeetle VMAX, $555. I don't get that. I don't see the appeal at all of that card. Again, I drew it, but glad to see stuff's doing good in general. So we have some Japanese cards because, like I said before, I did draw some Japanese cards when I opened Japanese 151. So got a Squirtle Japanese, but obviously the English stuff is my bread and butter. That's where I want to focus on. And I don't even consider Japanese an investment anymore. I know some people are interested, but just not interested myself. Friends in Hisui, right there. That I think that could have potential as a long-term card. And then we get the Flareon, right? The Evolutions. Everything Evolution, in my opinion, will turn to gold as we get the mania that will be Prismatic Evolutions. In a recent video, I opened up some Terrestrial Festival, which will obviously be all the same cards as in Prismatic Evolution. I talked about and whether I think it's a good investment right now. You can check that out if you want after this video. But yes, I do believe it. I do believe in it. I do think it's going to do amazing, and I think it's going to bring up other Evolution cards and Eevee cards. So we'll see how accurate that is, but I'm pretty confident. Giovanni's Charisma, even $8 at this point. This is not the rare one. Wow. Interesting. Probably because of that Glory of Team Rocket set coming hype. Toadscruel, right? That's significantly up from when I bought it for about $4 or $5. Percentage-wise, good gains. And again, a variant of a 151 Pokemon. Grotle. That's a beautiful card. That's up. I don't know how popular Grotle is in the long term, but you even have Meryl there, and we saw recently in Paldea Evolved how that Meryl is blowing up. It's crazy. So, again, having popular Pokemon and then beautiful artwork can help out a card for sure. Approaching $10 almost on that card. Eevee, right? Trainer galleries. These popular Pokemon in trainer galleries, I think, are slept on and will do good in the long run. Vaporeon is the most expensive of the ones I have. So we saw Eevee and then we saw Flareon earlier as well. And we even have some Evolving Skies here. But again, this is one I drew, not I invested in. But Sylveon VMAX, so we're approaching $10 here. But of course, in my opinion, alt arts and illustration rares are the way to go, especially if you're purposely investing and not just drawing. The promos in the Ultra Premium Collection, the Mew UPCs for 151 are doing great. Like, I think this is the cheapest one right now, the Mew EX Metal card. I opened a bunch of these, so I have a bunch. It says 9. I have even more, but I have 9 in those, still in those sets where you can show off all 3, those kind of frames. And yeah, so over almost approaching 11 Canadian for the cheapest one there. Crazy value. Mew EX, see, holding some value there as well, even though it's not the rare one. Arbok from Temporal Forces. Temporal Forces, I think, is overhyped. That's a hot take, I know. A lot of people love Temporal Forces. I think the 151 Pokemon are awesome. I think the Ghastly is awesome. We're going to see that. I have that one. I think the Arbok's awesome. I think even Lickitung is in there, and that's a good card. But I think people do overhype it, personally. If it was actually Raikou and the legendary dogs, that would be different. But since it's these different variants of them, I don't feel that it's as strong of a set as a lot of people do. That's for sure. So we have 151 cards, right? That's always going to be good. Charizard V, this sleepy Charizard with the Venusaur there. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but this pretty much, just like Mewtwo, has those two cards with Charizard versus Mewtwo in different angles, one in Crown Zenith, one in the promos. So this one seems to be like the Brilliant Stars, Charizard and Venusaur fight, but maybe a bit before, after, whatever you, however you want to look at it. But it seems to be related, and it has the Charizard and Venusaur, and those two in the same card is always going to mean good things. Leafeon V, Evolving Skies, again, just the full art, but holding some good value there at 19 Canadian almost. Even a Ninetales full art, right? I always would focus on illustration rares. I do have a master sets of Pokemon 151, but even full art's $20 if you can believe it. And I love Ninetales, so not surprised there. So we keep going. Full art Venusaur holding some value. We have Drowsy from Scarlet Violet base set. One of the best cards in my opinion. And then we have Slowpoke here too. Both around around 23 Canadian. So holding some great value there. And what do I say, guys? Invest in 151 alt arts and illustration rares. Long term, I don't think you'll do bad at all. Psyduck, 23. Good stuff. Mew, there's the promo for Mew. $25 now, right? So these have really spiked because the UPCs have spiked in price, right? So it makes sense that they're more expensive. To get these cards is more expensive, so they go up in price. The Charizard VMAX still holding some great value, $25. The most expensive one, oh no, maybe not. The Mewtwo, no, I think, yeah. No, the Mewtwo versus Charizard is more at 36. But the second most expensive one, and honestly, I do prefer the Sleeping Charizard to this one, but all good. We have some random cards here. Umbreon V, right? Evolutions, again, and a cheaper alternative to the expensive alt arts, which I have as well, of course. But the trainer galleries, I definitely don't want to miss that if it rises. Fusion Strike 3-pack blister. This was such an easy purchase. You look at Umbreon and how Umbreon, the 3-pack blister with Umbreon for Evolving Skies did so well. And then when Fusion Strike, before it sold out, I saw Espeon on it, the card. It's the perfect card for it. It's in the set. It's an evolution, a popular one. And then Fusion Strike, obviously a good set. And now people are recognizing that. It was such an easy buy. And yeah, I didn't buy a lot just because I'm not crazy about storing these things versus booster boxes. But it was just, I knew it was going to go up. I bought one. And yeah, of course, it went up a lot. Pikachu V. Ghastly. This is Temporal Forces, one of their saving graces. And I don't think it's a great set, like I said, but this is a really good card. It has Gengar in it as well, Haunter, right? Adding a lot of value, not just Ghastly here. Umbreon VMAX, right? The Trainer Gallery. I think all of these are good places to put your money if you got it. Crown Zenith Booster Box. Booster Bundle, I should say. So that's up. Obviously, Crown Zenith is popping off to an extent right now. Scarlet Violet Elite Trainer Box. These aren't even the Pokemon Center ones. They're just ones you could have gotten at Costco, but even they're holding some fair value right now. $58 for Koraidon. Miraidon is $60. So good stuff there. Bulbasaur. The original trio cards and illustration rares. Can't go wrong with that. Alakazam doing solid. Divergent Powers tins. This is the most popular one that I got. There's Evolving Skies in there, 2 of them. You saw 2 loose Evolving Skies packs earlier on. They're like over $25 now. This one has 2 in it of Evolving Skies. So I opened one of them, right? So, and then that's where I got the loose packs. Didn't want to open it up because I know I'm probably not going to get anything good, but the packs do hold some value. Alakazam, Raichu, Paldean Fates booster bundle, right? Good to see that getting some love. $68 now. The Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown, in my opinion, is saved by that Bulbasaur and Squirtle, which it's a set with that really popular Charmander promo where he's mad at the window at the Pidgeys. So that's also going to help these cards like Bulbasaur and Squirtle. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're the two most expensive cards down the line in that set. And it really saves it, in my opinion. So we have Charmander, Pinsir, and okay, so I got some confusion here. Some people were confused. Hey, why are some cards just don't make sense, the numbers in one of the videos, and maybe I didn't do a good job explaining it. So here, Charmander, $69. That is not a PSA 10. That is a raw. Here, the Pinsir, $70, might seem weird because the raw is $9. But when you see that discrepancy, I actually have the PSA 10 version, right? It just doesn't say on the other window, on the other page. So that's what it is. If something's way off, I have a PSA 10 version of it instead of a raw version of it. Same with the Blaziken VMAX. It's a PSA 10. We got Squirtle, more popular than Bulbasaur at the moment, but I think they'll both do really well. Paldean Fates mini tins, right? This went up from when I bought it. It was $55 at Costco for one. Nothing crazy. I didn't go heavy into them, but I know this is a great set, so I bought it. Already up $20 from that. Wasn't long ago that I bought it either. Here's that Regidrago I was talking about. So it's a PSA 10. But if you notice this card, it actually has a Lugia flying around in the background, which I think will really help it long term. Then we have Blaziken with May. Again, May I watched in the anime. I always like stuff like that. Obviously, Starmie and Misty is a more fire, ironically, combination, but this is a good one too. The normal Obsidian Flames trainer box, people hate on Obsidian Flames, and I do like Obsidian Flames. I'm gonna get canceled over this. I do like Obsidian Flames more than Temporal Forces, and here you have the market to an extent because of that Charmander promo as well popping off. But here you have the market even positioning Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer box, not the Pokemon Center one, just the normal one at $77. So I'm glad to see it getting love, even though I feel like most YouTubers would say Temporal Forces like destroys Obsidian Flames. But I just think, yes, okay, the pull rates were easier in Obsidian Flames, but the actual Pokemon, I think, are way better. The popularity of the Pokemon are way better in Obsidian Flames. And honestly, the booster box price has, here in Canada at least, always been higher than, like, for example, Scarlet Violet base or something, even if the total value in Scarlet Violet base was higher in the master set. So yeah, I think there's a discrepancy here. I think Obsidian Flames is slept on. I think it's underrated, and I think it will perform well in the long run, especially because a lot of those cards are great. Yes, in raw, they're easy to get, so they're not that expensive. But in PSA 10s, because it was low quality at that time, the printing, they are very expensive. I have two of the most expensive Charizards in that set in PSA 10. I have the Ninetales, which is doing amazing, as we'll see, the Caesar. So yeah, I believe that those PSA 10 high prices will actually raise the other prices too. And of course, the booster box and ETB prices as well. Zapdos card, one of the best cards like ever. The fact that you have all three birds here. Again, we're talking about how it's good having other popular Pokemon in one Pokemon's card. This is a kind of epitome of that, where you have all three birds flying with this Zapdos and the Zapdos card. Amazing card. Believe in long-term greatness for this card for sure. 151 booster bundles. 151 is going to do great. We didn't have booster boxes. Booster bundles is sort of the closest thing you can get to that. Obviously, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box is better to get that, but it's harder, more expensive. So I think booster bundles are a great way to invest in it if you can get your hands on some. Bought a bunch at Walmart, still have them here. Doing well. Paldean Fates Tin with the Charizard. Knew that one would do the best. That's why I bought that one, ignored the rest. Perrin drew that, but glad it's still holding value. Shadow Rider Calyrex, that's a PSA 10. And then Celebrations. Like I said, guys, as we're approaching the 30th anniversary, Celebrations is the 25th anniversary. So I think Celebration stuff will do well, especially in like the next year from now to 2 years from now. I have the UPC, as we'll see as well. So I do think that's going to do great. Shrouded Fables Horsey. Like I said, 151. Invest in that stuff. The Persian is amazing as well. I have that one in PSA 10. Shrouded Fables. Shrouded Fable could have been great. Could have been a solid set if they put that Greninja promo and that Kingdra promo in the actual set. But as things stand, it does still have some good cards. Eevee. No surprise there with Prismatic Evolutions coming out. You know Eevee, this card is going to do well, keep performing well. Lickitung, PSA 10, right? 151 Pokemon. Doesn't need to be complicated. Not the most popular Pokemon, but nice artwork. 151 is almost enough popularity right there. If it's part of it, that's my philosophy at least. We'll see if that proves true. Sylveon V, beautiful card. Chansey from Twilight Masquerade, all holding good value. Pidgeot EX, another Obsidian Flames card, PSA 10 price. Twilight Masquerade, so even that Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box is doing solid, right? I bought it for 77 per box. Now it's 112. The promo sucks. The promo absolutely sucks. No one cares about it. The Ogerpon, but it's still doing well, which shows how good these investments are. Of course, Raikou, the actual legendary dog. Glad to have that here. Hisuian Growlithe. That's doing great. It matches well with the Perrin. Miraidon. I think this is a beautiful card, and hopefully time will increase the value of this one. It's a PSA 10. Leafeon V, right? All of this stuff, all of these evolutions from Evolving Skies, one of the best sets ever in Pokemon, are getting an additional bump now with Prismatic Evolutions hype. People go back, look at other popular evolution cards. It's going to help them all. These 151 binder collections did amazing. They did amazing. So if this is anything to go off of, try to get those Prismatic Evolution binder collections if you can get your hands on them for a good price. Lost Origin Elite Trainer box, doing great. Suicune, doing great. PSA 10. Mimikyu, Pokemon Center exclusive. Much better than the Ogerpon for sure. Not quite Pikachu from Paldea Evolved and Charmander from Obsidian Flames level, but still doing solid. That's a PSA 10 price. Poliwhirl, this is one of my favorite designs in Pokemon 151. Heavily invested into this sleeping Pikachu with the trainer in the trainer gallery for Lost Origin. Lost Origin going up in price. Pikachu popular Pokemon. Sleeping adds a bit of a twist to it, an interesting aspect to the card. So yeah, I think this was just no-brainer. Got 4 PSA 10s when they were cheap. They're already up over 30%. Also, we got a raw, just drawing it from Lost Origin. So yeah, I believe in this card. That explains why I have so many of it. Really like this Rayquaza VMAX, Galarian Rapidash. So yeah, if you guys think Silver Tempest has nothing but the Lugia, I think this Rayquaza is amazing. I love the pose of like the trainer here as well, and the Rayquaza combination looks amazing. Got that in a PSA 10. Leafeon V-Star, right? Like I've been saying, guys, evolutions. It's not complicated. Buy evolutions. Glaceon as well, both PSA 10s from Crown Zenith, right? You're combining Crown Zenith popularity now with evolution popularity. It's not rocket science. Stellar Crown, right? I think a lot of the reason this is doing well is not only because that Bulbasaur and Squirtle in the set, but Noctowl is Gen 2. I feel like a lot of people that were into Gen 1 were there for Gen 2 too. It has that same nostalgia, and that's a cool Noctowl promo. So not surprised to see that. Dragonair, beautiful card. Even this Fusion Strike Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, crazy gains on that. Yeah, we're approaching 3xing that in profit. Garchomp, this to me was a more interesting gimmick, if you will, than now that we have like the crowns with all the different types, fire, water, right? All the different types, elements. I prefer when it was just like one different element that you don't usually associate with the Pokemon. That's why I like the Dark Charizard and Obsidian Flames. This Water Garchomp, right? It's a very unique idea, and they didn't do it a lot. So I definitely wanted at least one version of all of them in PSA 10 that were done with special illustration rares or illustration rares. So that's why I also got the Greninja. Eventually pulled the trigger on that as a fighting type from Twilight Masquerade. The Batman Noivern. Yes, it's involving skies, but I had to get it because of the Batman aspect to it. Miriam, honestly, holding on good. One of my strategies is to buy the top two cards in a set, the top two most popular, in a PSA 10 if possible. And that's what I did with this one. She was sort of the waifu card that started off the generation of Scarlet and Violet. You even have a Pikachu in there. So yeah, I bought it, but I'm still surprised. It's holding some pretty good value. So I honestly didn't expect it to be a home run, but it's holding good value. Pikachu VMAX, great card. Eevee Evolutions Premium Collection. This I have a literal, one of those price tags on it when I bought it at GameStop. And I bought, as you can see, a fair bit. And all these packs in there were either out of print already or on their way out, and it was discounted because they were trying to clear the shelves, I guess. And yeah, it was like $62 Canadian, and now yeah, it's almost tripled in worth. So it goes to show, don't hate on collection boxes. Context matters. Collection boxes don't just automatically suck. Some do, sure, but sometimes collection boxes can be an amazing find, and I wouldn't just personally ignore them just to focus on booster boxes. That's my take anyways. Scarlet and Violet booster box. These are up about $30 from when I bought them. Again, I timed it pretty perfectly. The focus was elsewhere. They weren't really getting attention. I bought it for very cheap in my opinion, and then they started going up already. That Gardevoir is amazing. That whole line, the storytelling, heartwarming, a popular Pokemon. But I really believe in that. Surging Sparks, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. This, I don't know how long it's going to take for it to go up just because it's so new. And it did go up already, right? Like this, we're talking $77 Canadian MSRP on the Pokemon Center. So it did go up a lot. I'm just talking how much it'll further go up in the short term. I don't know. But long term, has Pikachu on the box. Surging Sparks is a great set. Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are the best investment of Scarlet and Violet era. And you have that Magneton promo done by the same guy that did Giratina and the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. So yeah, this is going to be amazing long-term investment. So I got a case of that. Mew V, like this card more than the Mew V Max from Fusion Strike. You can let me know if you agree, but I just don't see the appeal of the V Max. Paradox Rift, another set with some good cards. I love the Groudon. I got it in PSA 10. But not one of my favorite sets. That's why I got one. If I really like a set, I'll get a booster box case of it. Paradox Rift, I didn't like enough to pull the trigger on the case. I'm cool with just having one for my collection. Flareon VMAX collection boxes. These are the only ways to complete your Evolving Skies Evolution cards, the Vs and the VMAXs. So of course, I had to get those. Obsidian Flames, now $189. So I'm $40 up on each of these 7 Obsidian Flames booster boxes. Again, for a slept-on set that a lot of people just shit on. Let's be honest, they shit on it a lot in the Pokemon investing YouTuber community. The fact that I'm up, like close to $40 on it already is pretty cool. Probably 35. I think 155 I paid for each. So but good to see it going up. Rayquaza V, right? Evolving Skies, Rayquaza, super popular Pokemon. Battle Styles, I think that's also gets more hate than it deserves. It's the first alt art set of the Sword and Shield era. It has that Sleeping Tyranitar as a great chase card, and it has some other interesting, if not the most popular, alt arts. So I think when this sells out from the Pokemon Center, when it gets older, it will do good. Got some Lorcana here, but won't focus too much on that. Temporal Forces, again, I don't love the set. Maybe it was short printed. Maybe that's why the price is high. Maybe I just don't get it. But got one, didn't get a case of it. Didn't believe in it as much as some of other sets. Didn't personally enjoy it as much as some of the other sets, right? Like if I get Iron Crown, like that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know if that Pokemon, I don't know anything about it. I'd rather get that Dark Charizard from City and Flames. Personally, that Ninetales, that Gloom even. So ignoring price obviously, but don't get the appeal. But yeah, obviously I'm getting a booster box of everything no matter what. At least one. Paldean Tauros, right? Invested heavily into those. I love the fact that I love the design. I like that it's tied to 151. I love that it's Paldea evolved. A lot to like there. Caesar from Obsidian Flames, right? PSA 10. Love that card. Celebi V. Love that card. A lot of people say that's a PSA 10. A lot of people say it's underrated. Don't know how long it'll be underrated for, but I definitely wanted it in my investing / collection. So I didn't even know that 151 Elite Trainer boxes, normal ones, are like $200 now. Crazy. Heracross, that's a PSA 10 from Paldea Evolved. Again, Heracross was an Ash Pokemon, so I have positive memories of it. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Glaceon V, right? Buying into those evolving skies, evolutions. You have the Jolteon VMAX Premium Collection. You'll see how it's interesting. Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, they're actually different prices, I guess. It does matter how popular the evolution is in the cards. Absolutely love that Jolteon V in there. One of the best. One of my favorites. Pikachu with a bunch of 151 Pokemon. No brainer play right there. Have PSA 10 and some Raws. Keep going. Vivid Voltage. Just got it to have one of every Sword and Shield set. Wouldn't recommend Vivid Voltage as an amazing investment. Personally, I'd go with the alt art sets in Sword and Shield. Got Iono. For long, the top waifu of the era. Obviously, it's been replaced after Twilight Masquerade. But still, great looking card. There's an Eevee Pikachu plushies in there. Paldea Evolved, now $220, right? So I bought each of these at $150. This is one of, if not my favorite, Scarlet and Violet main set. I love that Magikarp, as you know from my profile picture on the YouTube. So yeah, up $70 on each of these. I bought 7, and I believe that there's a lot of room to grow with this. Paldean Fates, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, 220, right? This is 3x'd. What's there to say about it? Great set, good promo, solid promo with the Mimikyu. Believe that this will keep gaining. I've actually heard YouTubers like say that Paldean Fates isn't a good set, and even compare it to Shining Fates 2.0. I disagree so much, bro. We got the first illustration rares of Shiny Charizard, as far as I know, right? And then of Shiny Mew, Shiny Gardevoir, all super popular Pokemon. The actual shinies in this set are way better than the shinies in the last shiny set. So yeah, I don't get what people are talking about. You got Shiny Pikachu, Shiny Charmander, Shining Snorlax, so many good ones. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, a lot of room to grow, and the market has realized how good it is. And yeah, I'm glad I invested when I did. Twilight Masquerade booster box. Nothing crazy lately. Like it's been doing good, but it's holding even higher value currently, not by a lot, but than Paldea Evolved, which is saying something because Paldea Evolved is amazing. Darkness Ablaze even holding value. Ninetales, PSA 10, right? 241. Great card. Starmie V. You got Misty. You got Starmie. You got everything you need. Dragonite V. Evolving Skies is going up. I bought this card kind of when the hype was happening with the alt arts a while back. And so I saw that PSA 9 was cheaper than a raw, and I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, you can crack it. And so this is a PSA 9 if you want to sell it for the raw price. And yeah, so I got it for like about 200. Now it's 245. I think it'll keep going up. Again, sleeping, I do think that's an interesting aspect to it. You imagine Pokemon in action, fighting. Interesting to see them sleeping, vulnerable in that sense. Persian, right? Not surprised to see this doing well. I think it's a beautiful card. Persian's a sick Pokemon. Glory of Team Rocket hype might even bring it up. Glory of Team Rocket. Hopefully they do a Rocket's Mewtwo, man. That I would want even more than this new Umbreon from Prismatic Evolutions. We got War Turtle, we got Pally Evolved, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes doing amazing, which I'm glad to see because if you guys remember, if you watch the previous videos, but you'll see it here anyways, I went big on those Pikachu Pokemon Center stamped promos that are in this box in PSA 10. I got 5 of them for great prices compared to where they're at now. So yeah, I believe in that heavily, and so I'm glad to see the box going up. It means good things for that promo, and that promo means good things for the box. So it's a nice synergetic thing going on. You got Sword and Shield Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. Bought these from Walmart at $125. No brainer. Those at that price point, those Charizard promos alone are amazing. Plus, you got Evolving Skies in here and some other interesting sets. So you have that Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest above Astral Radiance now. Nice. So they did sell out of the Pokemon Center a while ago, Silver Tempest. So I did know it was going to go up after that happened, but wow, Astral Radiance has been sold out for a long time for Pokemon Center. So I guess that, like, there's always talk about Astral Radiance depth, but that Lugia chase card seems to really make up for that. So that now Silver Tempest booster boxes are actually more expensive than Astral Radiance. Interesting. We have Charizard Celebrations Classic Premium Collection in PSA 10. Squirtle. A base set Dragonair. Even base set stuff is going up. Interesting. Everything is going up in this market. So guys, just don't use leverage. Please, for the love of God, don't use credit card debt. Just invest with what you have, because there will be downs. Usually the downs are followed by another high at some point, another pop off. But you got to survive the downs, right? You got to be able to sit on your product and not panic sell at low prices. So for the love of God, just realize we're at a high right now. Don't go into credit card debt to buy all this expensive stuff, because we could go down at some point. Not saying it'll be this year, but it could be. So just be prepared for that. Just don't use leverage. Spend what you're able to spend and sit and hold for at least 5 years or something. I think that's the easiest way to not lose. Sit on your cardboard, guys. Sylveon V, right? All of these Evolving Skies doing great. Mewtwo V-Star. This one's finally getting to where it should be. Like, everyone knew this was an amazing card. I don't know why it took long to even get to this point. I think it has a lot of room to grow. Mewtwo versus Charizard. And the other one was a promo. That's kind of easy to get once you get the box. Here, you have to draw this from Crown Zenith. And in my opinion, I would prefer this to the Giratina. So that is what it is. Evolving Skies went heavy on the Elite Trainer boxes. Another thing that's interesting is that people always say booster boxes are the better investment, right? And for me, I did buy the booster boxes for Evolving Skies. I bought 2 of them. But I saw that there was a discrepancy. Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes were getting slept on. They were like $100, where I was buying Evolving Skies booster box for like $550. So I went heavy on the Elite Trainer boxes, and I actually made more percentage gains on them than I did the booster boxes. So that's a lesson to you. Yes, even before the stamps and the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, if you can notice context, if you can notice discrepancy in the markets, you can actually outperform. It's not as simple as just always buying elite booster boxes at any price, because booster boxes are the best investment. Surging Sparks booster box, right? Double up on this. I'm a long-term holder. I'm not looking to cash in any of these profits. But again, I'm not super excited about Surging Sparks short-term because it's such a new set and it went up so much. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. The price is crazy. I don't expect it like many YouTubers expected it to fly and just keep going up. It's new, guys. It's new. We got Prismatic Evolutions coming. We got Glory of Team Rocket coming. That's going to take some of the shine off of it. So you got to recognize that, right? It's already gone up so much. I think we got to be ready for this to potentially stay flat for a while. So that's just my opinion. But either way, I'm not selling. I believe in the set long term. I just am not as hyped up about it as I think some people are. This Charizard V has actually gained great value. I literally bought this because I just thought it looked awesome, the card, and it's actually been going up. So I'm glad to see that. Again, I would, if I'm purely focusing on what I think is a good investment, I'd focus on the alt arts and illustration rares of popular Pokemon. But this Charizard V just looked so nice, this full art, that I just had to have it. And yeah, it's actually paid off. A bit of surprise about that, but a lot of stuff is up in this market. Brilliant Stars booster boxes are now over $300. That's new for me. I didn't see that. Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes have been doing good. Now approaching 310 Canadian. I bought those closer to $200 and they finally moved. They've been flat for a long time and they finally moved. Pikachu PSA 10 bought for like 200, over 50% up on that. So this is, again, Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box, right? I bought some of the other designs, some of this design. Not surprising that the Umbreon one, the one that has Umbreon, is selling at a bit of a premium there. No surprise. Tyranitar PSA 10, Raichu PSA 10, both from Paldea Evolved. Stacked set, guys. What can I tell you? Venusaur, obviously the final stage evolutions of the trio from Generation 1. You just know this is the modern play for if you missed getting first edition Charizard, first edition Blastoise, and first edition Venusaur in base set. All right, guys, sorry I was interrupted by a call, but back to it. What I was going to say is getting this 151 Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard illustration rares in PSA 10s is kind of like getting that back in the day in those first edition, or at least the just base set without the first edition ones when we were kids, right? Which obviously a lot of us didn't get a chance to do that. But now with this reprint, like in another 25 years, another 30 years, trust me, you'll be kicking yourself just like you are now for not getting that, even though we couldn't really, like our parents would buy us like a pack or two. But imagine kicking yourself knowing you could have got them now, 25 to 30 years from now. How much do you think they'll be worth? Like these are surefire investments. It's just time in the market, right? You got to give it time to grow. And keep in mind, like they're constantly printing, every government, including America and Canada, constantly printing money, which means the more they print, the more valuable assets like Pokemon cards will be, collectibles will be, because there's more dollars fighting over the same amount of cards. So that's something to keep in mind. Even if like the value stays the same, you're still doing well in comparison to US dollars or Canadian dollars perspective. So Rebel Clash booster box, again, nothing crazy, but a very unpopular set with nothing crazy good inside, being over 332 Canadian. It's a good sign, right? It's a good sign for the Pokemon hobby, and you can imagine how much sets that are great and have great cards like Evolving Skies and including stuff like Scarlet Violet base in our generation, this Scarlet Violet generation can be. So there's a lot of potential there, even for the bad booster boxes, which is cool to keep in mind. So Obsidian Flames, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, still on the up and up. That Pokemon Center Charmander promo is just amazing with the stamp. Got 2 of them in PSA 10. That's been going up, and of course, this is tied directly to that as well. PSA 10 prices, guys, are very important for determining how the raw market reacts. Usually, if something gets high in a PSA 10, the raw price will go up because people are chasing that PSA 10 version of it. So here we have $333. So I bought this for $77, guys. This is over 4x, okay? Over 4x increase on this Pokemon product. I don't know. This is more increase than I even got on the Pokemon Center. What's it called? Pokemon 151, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. But I didn't buy that directly from Pokemon Center, and that's why I bought it secondhand. Still went up huge, but just not as much as Obsidian Flames because I got it directly from the Pokemon Center. So we have the Machamp V. This is the strategy I use, guys. It's not difficult, and it's been very good for me. I just bought, like I said, the top chase cards of the set. Maybe just one if I think the second one isn't that good, but usually the 2. So I got Machamp V, I got Starmie V with the Misty. And they're 151 related. They're the chase cards of the set. Maybe it's not the best set, but I still think these are going to do good, and that strategy has done very well for me. People say it's hard to invest in single cards, but honestly, it doesn't seem hard to me. It really doesn't. You just got to be able to not use leverage and wait out falls, which usually, like I said, it'll fall, but it'll still end up higher than where it started, so you're still making money. Just don't FOMO in when everything starts hitting insane highs, like the Altart boom at its peak. Yeah, there, if you get it in, I still think you'll be okay long term, but short term, obviously, you could experience a fall. But just buy the right cards, buy the right Pokemon, and you should be fine. Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, one of my worst performing investments, and it's not even that bad in English. My Japanese investments have done the worst by far. But Pokemon Trading Game Classic, I misread this. I thought, expensive product, nostalgia, reprints of the originals. Maybe it'll do well long term, but it just, I don't know, it didn't have that surprise factor that packs have. It didn't have, I guess the cards just weren't good enough to stand on their own. It didn't work like promo cards because probably they printed more than I probably expected as well. So this was a miss for me, and I'm willing to admit that. But way more wins than misses, even though I'm not like the most experienced investor. So Pokemon investing has still been good to me. Chilling Reign booster boxes. So bought these all 12. So that's pretty much 2 cases worth for $200. They're already at $358. I can still see a lot of growth for Chilling Reign. I love the Blaziken and the Moltres. Like I said, my strategy, buy the top 2. I have both in PSA 10. I believe in them long term. Ultra Premium collections have 3 of these. Doing great. Like I said, the promos inside are doing great. Don't see this slowing down. I think it'll do great long term. Espeon V. I love this one because I love books. So there's a personal touch for me, but also good stuff. So Lost Origin here. One of the better ones. One of the better Sword and Shield sets. And that's saying a lot because Sword and Shield is one of the best eras. 383 per box. Bought each one for 186. So amazing profits there. This will definitely go up, not selling any. Evolving Skies Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Again, this was before the stamp promos. If there was a stamp promo of like an Eevee or something there, it would do way better. But still, you can't complain with almost $400. Romance Dawn booster boxes. I'm up on this. Just wanted to have part of history here. Wanted to have the first one. It is the white bottom, but still first ever one-piece booster box. Groudon, one of my favorite cards from Paradox Rift. I got this even when the top card was the other one, like the Roaring Moon. and I just didn't relate to Roaring Moon. I didn't like it that much. And then Groudon, obviously I did, and that was the right play. That now this is the most expensive card in the set. Blastoise, same story with Venusaur, right? Although Blastoise tends to be more popular, just like Charizard tends to be more popular than Blastoise. 151 Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, right? $400 pretty much now. This would have been my best investment if I could get it from the Pokemon Center, but I started investing after I didn't know at the time you could order this stuff from Pokemon Center. So I missed out on that, but lesson learned. Tyranitar V, sleeping one, right? This is a chase card from Battle Styles. So it's a great chase card. So I think Battle Styles, it speaks well for Battle Styles and how it'll do. Aerodactyl V, this is finally moving up. So I got this for $450 during the peak of the alt art boom, I feel like. And now it's actually almost recovered. Kind of gave into the mania there, lesson learned as well. Don't buy when when prices are going up like a straight line. But I'm almost up on that again. So it's like your losses aren't that big and then the gains are amazing. Meryl here, shocked. I got this because there was a low pop report and I like Meryl, but I didn't know, and I like the design, but I didn't know people would like it as much as me. I got it for about 300 Canadian, thought I overpaid for it. And here we go. We're up over 30%, 33%. And now to reflect this PSA 10 price, the Meryl has climbed up and it's up there with the Raichu and the Tyranitar, Godzilla Tyranitar, as one of the most expensive cards in the set. Crazy move. That's one of my biggest surprises actually of the year, but glad I invested when I did. Galarian Moltres V, obviously amazing card. Disney Lorcana first chapter. I actually bought these for $350 each, and it went up and down, but now I feel like we're at a good point. Again, this is not about Lorcana, but just the first one, right? And Disney is so huge that I feel like these will do amazing. And like, Pokemon is approaching 30 years old. When Lorcana is approaching 30 years old, I think these will be a lot of money. So I got 4 of those when they were $350. Sword and Shield booster box. Base sets tend to do well. Not an especially good one compared to like Scarlet Valley base, which is why I have high hopes for Scarlet Valley base eventually. But it's almost 500 Canadian, amazing. Fusion Strike actually surpassed it. So that's really cool. 485. We're approaching 500 Canadian for Fusion Strike. Got him for 186 per box from Pokemon Center. Very good to see that. And then we got Charizard EX. Like I told you guys, I invested in 2 of them in PSA 10. I think it's an amazing card. I like the fact that it's dark. It gives a good spin on it. I don't know when we're ever going to have another dark Charizard, a dark type of a Charizard. So I think the design's amazing. Easy buy for me. Eevee Heroes, been going sideways. Why don't invest in Japanese anymore? I don't get it. It's an amazing set, amazing cards, good value for the cards. The booster box just doesn't reflect it in the Japanese. Charizard V, this is going up, no surprise there. We got Venusaur and Charizard, like I mentioned, battling. Amazing card. I love it. Illustration, alt art of Charizard. I see good things for this in the future. Glaceon V, got this for $350 way back, like a year ago, and I love the fact that Pikachu was there. I thought the card looked great. And not surprised that with all the Evolutions hype, it's up almost, well, not quite double, but very good, up from 350 to 550 almost. Celebrations, Ultra Premium Collection UPC, these have been going up, and I expect it, like I said, within the next year to 2 years to go up even more as the 30 year comes around. And now everyone's like looking back, oh shit, what was the 25 year? And this is the best product to have in my opinion. It has a metal Charizard card. Then we have the Sylveon VMAX here, 565, right? Again, same vein. All these evolutions doing good and even better on top of the Sword and Shield getting older, Evolving Skies being one of the best sets, and Evolving Skies 2.0 in Prismatic Evolutions coming out. Charizard EX, here we go, doing even better than the Charizard from Obsidian Flames, but not by much, surprisingly. So a lot of people prefer this design. Obviously, it's shiny. That's always more interesting. It's a special illustration rare. This used to be the top card in the set, but was surpassed by the Bubble Mew. base set booster pack. Didn't get this as an investment, just purely nostalgia, but it's gone up a bit. Nothing crazy. Don't expect it to go up much, but just cool to have as a kid. You know, this is like wish fulfillment pretty much. As an adult, Umbreon V, holy crap, bro, 605 Canadian. I bought this upon the hype. It crashed big time, and I'm still up on it now, considering how much it's gone up again. Crazy, crazy how even buying in Mania can sometimes pay off in this hobby. And I don't think we've seen the top, obviously, of these cards, but crazy that's already at 605. Espeon VMAX. So with Fusion Strike popping off, Evolutions popping off, this is no surprise that it's hit such a high number. I continue to see great things for this. Again, sleeping. I think that's an interesting touch. There are going to be multiple illustration rares of Pokemon eventually, alt arts, whatever they name him, these kinds of interesting arts. But sleeping adds another dimension to it. Very cute card, cute village. I wouldn't be surprised if soon this surpasses the Blaziken even, which is doing great too. Almost $700. Leafeon VMAX, even more expensive. This is just pure cuteness. I don't think the card is a especially interesting design or anything, but it's popular. It's been popular for a long time. Lugia V, this is the star lately, I feel like, with a Fusion Strike, but this Lugia V is just absolutely crushing it. Got this for 650 again back during the boom, and now again it's surpassed that for 735. Charizard EX now over 900. Mew, Bubble Mew EX from Paladin Fates surprised everyone, went from second to first place, and now the PSA 10 is approaching 1,000 Canadian dollars. Greninja EX, like I said, interesting that it's a fighting type. Looks like he recognizes his place as king on the throne here. Absolutely amazing card. I waited to see what's going to happen with it. And the fact that it went from strength to strength and kept going up, even more so than the Pikachu, although the Pikachu's higher value. It started off as higher value, but just I'm so impressed that Greninja just kept going up, and like 6 months later, it's still going up. So I believe in this card long term. Greninja is a super popular Pokemon, and I didn't foresee this coming right away when Twilight Masquerade came out, but upon seeing what it's done and what it's capable of, this was an easy buy for me. Up on it already. Unbroken Bonds booster box. Now all of this team up stuff is past $1,000. Great to see. Bought this one and the Unified Minds within like the 800s, I believe, if not less. And now 1,056, 1,126 for Unified Minds. Even this stuff is going up, yes, because it's been more time. It's sort of found its place in the market. It goes up less drastically, but even that stuff is going up. Pikachu Pokemon Center exclusive. Like I told you guys, I have 5 of these. Amazing. I got the first one for 200. They're all PSA 10. And then the other ones for like 500 to 600. They're doing amazing. The worst ones are up over double, and then the other ones are just like 5xing, almost 6xing. So really good there. Rayquaza VMAX, amazing card. Not surprising to see this finally going up, getting up to a price where it deserved to be. Evolving Skies booster box, 1,400. No surprise here. The best booster box of the modern era, arguably. I see this being easily, eventually, team up. Is that booster box called team up? Yeah, team up level. I see this getting 4,000 and beyond. Charmander Pokemon Center exclusive. This is the big star of the stamped Pokemon Center promos. This is the PSA 10 price. Got 2 of them. Got my first one super cheap compared to where it is now. One of my best investments. Got another one around 1,100 because I believe in it long term. Cosmic Eclipse up to 1,500. Magikarp 1,800. Giratina V 1,800. Same artist like I told you guys. Love these cards. Love that a Magikarp, like the story of that a Magikarp, one of the most considered pathetic Pokemon, can have such a rise. And it's even rising in this picture. And the whole story is that it rises, the carp rises and becomes a dragon when it reaches the top. If it makes it to the top, there's a Gyarados at the top to represent that. And this, just like in the card, this card continues to rise in PSA 10. It's above the Greninja, right? You guys even saw that in PSA 10, so it's amazing. I would never sleep on this card. I see big things for it in the future. Gengar VMAX, Fusion Strike popping off. This is now my second most expensive card. Interesting to see. Wasn't always like that. And then, of course, the Umbreon bought around 1,000. Thought that was expensive. Now it's 3,000. So even if you missed out, you might have not missed out in the sense that you could still get in, still make here. I already made triple 3x, and I see it going even up from here. I think it'll keep going up, and then Team Up Booster Box. Bought it for 2,800 Canadian. Now it's almost up $1,000. Again, percentage wise, maybe not as crazy as some other stuff, but the fact that a box can reach that level and keep going up like this says a lot about the strength of the Pokemon hobby. So that is it for this one, guys. Like I said, we've made $16,000 in 1 month. I've shown you sort of how we've gotten there, what went up. Booster boxes, sealed products, singles have gone up. Everything to an extent generally has gone up. Yes, maybe some certain thing has gone down here and there, but overall, it's a good time in the market. Shows how strong the Pokemon hobby is, how much you can make for it. It's a good way to diversify your portfolio if you have other investments as well. And subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. Check out this view linked on screen right now about my view on Prismatic Evolutions and if it is overhyped at these insane prices. And I'll see you in the next video.